And that said, fit into that template. Do not be unique. Fit in to this notion, this belief structure of what self is supposed to be. What happens when self tries to put on clothes that don't fit?
Uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. They are either too tight or too big. Yes? Oh goodness. All right. If they are either too tight or too big, they are cumbersome. They do not reflect self's essence. They become a masquerade. Yes. In other words, the real self does not shine through. And so therefore it is most important, is it not, when the critic comes forth, to look at the critic and very lovingly embrace the critic. Thank you, critic, for trying to protect self's uniqueness by hiding it. Thank you for trying to help self be a part of things, a part of source, a part of humankind. Thank you. And together may we find a new way to go forth. A way that openly examines with great clarity and great loving perception exactly where self is right in this moment. Allowing self not so much to be exposed in a myriad of flaws, but rather to see self as this flower that's unfolding, 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 and that every stage of the journey is a stage of beauty. Is that part clear?
Yes.
And to allow self to examine this great pool of shame that the critic has used to drown self, and allow self to bring love to that shame, because the shame was nothing more than a big blanket, so to speak, that was hiding the true self, and allow the shame to transmute the toxicity, so that the shame then can transform into, shall we say, simply a vivid curiosity, a desire to know every facet of self, unconditionally. Who is this self? In the dark, in the light. All facets. Is that quite clear? Knowing that all the pieces of self come together to create this vividly unique being that holds a unique answer to the great riddle of the universe.
How can we co-create a new template of self-love that allows for and includes safety, practicality, as well as embracing our magnitude and full authenticity?
Oh goodness. That is quite a big question.
In
It's
2
a
minutes or
wonderful
less.
question. Perhaps we will address that tomorrow, yes? It is a very rich question, is it not? This template. Today what we wish the students to do right in this moment is to examine, is to ask all of the self-betrayers within to line up. And for self to allow self to literally wrap self around all of them. Appreciating their gestures of love for self. Appreciating their finest efforts to help self. Separate there. And then allow self to ask these betrayers to reveal their fears, to reveal their wounds, so that self then can unconditionally love each and every one of them. Is that very clear? And that self can truly address the wounded self. As self does that, of course, there is profound healing, is there not? And then self begins to trust self's destiny. Self begins to trust that self need not hold back or undermine self. Yes, that as the betrayers transmute and they become agents of acceleration, agents of movement, because right now they have been agents of stoppage. Is that very clear? Simply inverted, they become agents of movement. Then the velocity unfolds, does it not? Things start happening very quickly, internally as well as externally. Is that right there for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And self says, all right, self, is everyone here ready for the velocity of this transfiguration?
Yes.
Yes.
It is a joy to watch things speed up, is it not? As long as self does one thing. let's go, yes? And enjoys the ride. It is a pleasure to sit with everyone today. Know that the Masters are with Self at all times of the day and the night. Know that the Masters shower love upon Self, all aspects of Self. And we are delighted that the students are willing to receive this gift of great circulation and bounty of Source's divine love. It is a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.